Okay, everyone, this is Meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer having a few computer problems. Nothing major, just like they won't cooperate. So we're getting ready here to do the 7:15 live weather show. I haven't forgotten about it. It's just taking me a few more minutes to get things typed in because it is just kind of a pain sometimes to get onto YouTube. All right. What I'm going to do, though, first of all, is I'm going to show you while I get the weather computer set up. It's 32 degrees out there right now, and this is a live shot from our tower cam. It's west of Interstate 75, and this is the Brent Spence Bridge. Now, you don't see much in the way of traffic on the top deck, which is southbound from Ohio into Kentucky. On the lower deck, where all those flashing lights are, that is the northbound traffic heading out of Kentucky into Ohio, and that has been stopped for hours and hours and hours. And the backup is solid, almost back to I-275 south of the Ohio River. So it is definitely bad. Now, what's happened here is apparently there was a suspect in some kind of a house break-in that fled in a car, crashed his car, got out of his car, and either went under the bridge. There's a ladder down there, went under the bridge where the maintenance guys go and is hiding him there, but they're trying, and he's armed and dangerous apparently. And so that is one of the things that we're working on right now. So they can't get traffic going again because if the guy happens to come up, he could hijack a car, shoot somebody because they say he's armed. And so they have I-71, 75 northbound right there at the Brent Spence Bridge shut down completely. I'm still logging into something here. That is what the issue is at this point in time. Okay, it will not take much. Geez, it's been a day. Now, it was just me this time. I was not typing my password correctly. So let's see here. So there I am. I'm waiting for the other computer to come up so we can get the weather computer running. So that's what's going on there behind me on the Brent Spence Bridge. Okay, somebody, the news we have now, as a news story comes in, sometimes some of the information is not correct or not exactly right. And so the latest we have right now, this guy did a home invasion, ran from the police, started to head northbound on the Brent Spence Bridge to get away from them, crashed his car, got out of his car, and then they think he went down a maintenance ladder and he's in the superstructure underneath the road. They don't know. They think he's armed and dangerous, and so they have traffic stopped because if traffic was going along and he came back up, he could shoot a driver, take the car. You get the story. And that's what's going on. So it has been shut down since like 4 o'clock maybe this afternoon. And the backup, again, is almost southbound to 275. It is a mess. So if you're waiting for anybody to come northbound and they're caught in that mess, it may be a long time before they get there. Okay, I'm still working on getting to the weather computer. But good news is we've got a warming trend coming our way. That warming trend should put us in the 50s for a couple days this week. Man, I tell you, what is going on here? Every time I go to anything today, it is just a mess. I keep getting error messages. You know how it is. Computers, can't live with them, can't live without them. Okay, now I've got the weather computer up and running, and we can start talking about weather instead of what's going on behind me there on camera. All right, so it's 32 right now. Now, don't forget, or if you didn't know, we air our weather special one more time Wednesday at 11:35 p.m. Set your DVR or stay up and watch it after our 11 o'clock news if you want. You can also see it on the fox19.com weather page. You go to fox19.com, go to the weather page, and you'll see like a black bar right across about a third of the way down, and it'll say weather specials. Just click that, and that'll take you to where you can watch the winter storm special. We think it was we liked it. It was tough, a lot of work, but we had a good time putting it together and hope you like it too. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. In mid-January, that polar vortex pushed all the way to the south. And that's just kind of like the outside edge of the jet stream system. Now, what's going to happen is we head into February. Notice we've been having all those cold air masses come our way. Those cold air masses have pretty much ceased now, although it's still pretty chilly out there. And the entire polar vortex, as we head on into mid-February, is going to pull to the north. That should leave us warmer than normal, but it's also going to allow a lot of Gulf of Mexico moisture to come our way. So when we start talking about the forecasts from now through the middle into the end of February, we're talking about fairly active, fairly wet, and maybe even stormy, okay, depending on how this works out. We could see an above average number of severe or strong thunderstorms. Okay, right now temperatures at personal weather stations almost all in the low 30s, although it is 29 in Oxford, and temperatures will drop off into the upper 20s and lower 30s overnight. There are some wind chills out there. Connorsville is a wind chill of 21. Wind chill is 28 in Madison and Crittenden, along with Brooksville, 24 in Lawrenceburg. Airport temperatures look like this, in the low 30s for the most part, with upper 20s in a couple spots. Wind chills mainly in the 20s, a few degrees cooler than the temperature, but nothing extreme. In other words, this is like no big deal compared to what we've been through. Remember, we had wind chills 21 below zero in the area not long ago. Now, here's the key to what's going to happen. Okay, if you take a look at this, right now it's 47 in Des Moines. It is 50 in Lincoln, Nebraska. It was 56 earlier there, and it was 51 in Des Moines, and that's the air that's progressing eastward. Okay, so when you see the 7 days forecast, we've got 2 days that make it into the 50s. But at this time of the year, with warmer weather, always comes moisture, and this means that we are going to see some rainfall. And we've got quite a few days of potential rainfall in the forecast. Latest wind speed, anywhere from, well, 5 or 6 miles an hour up to 15 miles an hour. And there's only a few spots, 2 spots actually, 18 at Lebanon, 22 in Springboro, where there are winds gusting, and those are miles per hour. Okay, you can see the rainfall right up here falling apart. Okay, this is the rainfall right here that is with this band of cloud cover. It's not going to make it here. It's going to die out completely. This is going to sweep south and eastward, and it may clip Columbus, but we're not going to see any precipitation out of this, although we will see increasing cloud cover tomorrow. Our weather maker is not really coming from the north and west. Our weather maker with this pattern change is coming out of the south and west. And you can actually see the jet stream down here. Okay, there's a little disturbance here, but here's the jet stream right in there, okay? And so already you're seeing the rainfall develop here between Dallas and Houston. That will slide north and eastward. It will work together with this little weak front, and we have rain coming in, looks like Thursday evening into Friday morning. And Friday morning is what we call a first alert weather day. It's a heads up that your Friday morning commute may be maybe very far from being a very good, fun morning commute. There's no doubt about that. Okay, this evening, 32 right now. By the time we get to 11 o'clock, 32. Now, our forecast may be off a little bit. Temperatures will steady out a little bit as the cloud cover begins to increase, but the cloud cover is not yet increasing very quickly. So we may have to drop those numbers down a bit. 30, the overnight low, may have to drop that down just a couple degrees, but not much. Sunrise at 7:50. And then tomorrow, we're looking at a high temperature of 45 degrees. That should be nice, 45. And look at that, as we head to midnight, Tuesday, Wednesday's temperature still in the 40s. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Okay, now watch what happens here. You can see that precipitation just maybe grazes Columbus. By Thursday at 6:50 p.m., we're looking at temperatures. Okay, we're looking at temperatures in the 40s and rain moving into the tri-state. By the time we get to 1:40 p.m. on Friday, it's in the 50s with the rain tapering off, and then we might see a sprinkle or a flurry on into Saturday as the tail end of that storm begins to come our way. And then it really looks like nothing else is coming our way through the rest of this forecast cycle. We're already into the 5th, and then by the time we get to the 6th, there's another system beginning to come out of the south and west. And those southwesterly systems usually bring warmer air, and along with that warmer air comes rainfall. Okay, here is the 6 to 10 day, or day 6 to day 10 outlook. Goes through the 6th of February from the Climate Prediction Center. Warmer than normal over the entire Fox 19 Now viewing area. The next forecast, warmer than normal through the 10th of February. And then the 3 to 4 week outlook, which goes to the 22nd of February, says we're going to be a little warmer than normal. Not really balmy warm, not shorts and sandals warm, but definitely warmer. Okay, precipitation-wise, a little bit more than normal through the 6th, a little bit more than that, more than normal through the 10th, and then more than normal precipitation through the 22nd. So it looks like a very active, fairly wet February into March. And sometimes when you get very active, very wet periods, you get storms. And so we're going to have to watch for the possibility of thunderstorm activity. Okay, now the 7-day forecast looks like this. Excuse me for a second while I take a drink. Okay, your 7-day forecast looks for a low of 30, a high of 45 Tuesday. 35 and 46 on Wednesday, 48 on Thursday, a high of 52 on Friday, and a high of 51 on Saturday. Now, Friday's that first alert weather day, so it looks like the timing of the rainfall is just in time for the morning commute. Doesn't mean flooding, doesn't mean severe storms. It's a heads up, okay? People get all up into Twitter about this, but a first alert weather day can be anything from, hey, you got to watch out for this, or take cover. It's life-threatening. In this case, it's just going to be a bad morning for a commute. Okay, now we go into beyond the 7-day forecast, and what you're going to see is what we just saw on those maps, but this is specific to us. Got high temperatures every day except the 8th in the 40s, with that day in the 53, morning lows in the 30s, and then except for the 4th, there's a chance of rain each and every day. And again, the uncertainty disclaimer there, because if it falls at night, it could be some wet snow. If it falls during the day, it more than likely, or not more than likely, it will be rainfall. Okay, and here's what the next 2 weeks look like temperature-wise. If you take a look at the highs, look at the lows, put the normal lines on there, and you can see that we are entirely above normal on the low side for that 14-day stretch, and we are entirely above normal on the high side for that 14-day stretch. So it's looking like we're pretty much done with this blast of Arctic air that continues to kind of give us problems. It's hard to believe we still have snow in the ground from that system, and I've got a side of my house is shady, never gets direct sunshine, so it's like solid ice. I did a little with a pickaxe today, trying to chop it up so we could walk there, but it's kind of hard, didn't make too much progress. Okay, let me go to the Facebook website, our Facebook page here, and see if we've got some comments or whatever from people. All right, and it looks like I've got a few here. Tina Brandenburg says, hi. Hello, Tina. How are you? Hope you're doing well. And Sarah DeWitt says hi there. And so does Lita Becker. So hi to the three of you. Krista Sounders. Okay, Krista Souders. I'm sorry, not Sounders, Souders. Why won't they let people turn around to get off the bridge? Well, I know. They've been sitting for hours. And the problem is because the way the traffic is all jammed up, you have to somehow figure out a way to get people to back up. So, and there's no exit really close at that point. So, yeah, that you would think that would be a good idea, but it's probably just not possible. And Tina Brandenburg says, yay, warming trend. Yes, it sounds nice, doesn't it? With temperatures in the 50s, it's going to feel like spring. Oh, and then Dana Gillespie says, this is a mess, very unfair to all of us sitting in this traffic. I agree. And I've got to confess that in my entire adult life, except for a year and a half when I taught school, I didn't ever drive through rush hour traffic. I come to work at 2:30 in the afternoon now, and I go home at midnight, so I never have to deal with this stuff. But if you have to deal with it day after day, yeah, they should figure out a way to get people off. They should be working backwards to all the exits and just start getting people off. And then when they get enough off, back the traffic up and do what, Dana Gillespie is saying it's unfair. But Krista Souders said, why don't they, yeah, so you would think that they could take, go back to the next exit, let a bunch of traffic go without letting it advance. And when that happens, then begin to turn some cars around. I don't know. It's a horrible mess. Right now, the police are just concerned with getting this armed guy you know, in custody. Well, yeah, so Patrick Robson said scanners said person under the bridge on the beams. They're trying to figure out how to get the person. Well, if we didn't know about this until today, but, well, we did know about it. We didn't know where they were. There are ladders. If you're there on foot on the bridge, which there's no sidewalk, you shouldn't be, but for when they shut down the bridge to do maintenance, there are ladders so they can go from the bridge deck, they can go down the ladder, go to the understructure, and they can inspect it or paint it or whatever they have to do, and that's apparently what this guy did. Now, the first reports came in and said that he jumped into the river, but apparently he's under there somewhere, or he's already gotten out, they don't know, but they're trying to find him because apparently he's armed and dangerous. I'm the last outlaw left from your childhood. Okay. Thanks, Stephen. David Piat. Love this weather. Yeah, so do I. You know what? This is not summer weather. It's not spring weather, but it's really nice to finally get some sun and to have it warm up a little bit. And then as far as I know, they're still looking for the person. Let me see. This came from our newsroom pushed this out 8 minutes ago, and it says they're still searching. So this was only 8 minutes ago, and they are still searching for that suspect. Okay, so that's all we know right now. Anybody else hear woodpeckers today? I heard, oh, wow. That's encouraging. That means they know something that we don't. Maybe we are. It does look like we're done with a really, really bitter cold, but maybe the woodpeckers know more. Tina Holmes says, great show. Enjoy my retirement. I certainly will. We are interviewing people to fill some spots here at Fox 19, and I think we've got a new meteorologist starting at the end of February. She's from here, from the Milford area, and her name's Erin Ashley, and I think you'll like her a lot. She's great. She went to Ohio University, was there a little bit later than Ethan Emery was, but oh, Molly Purcell Pollock says she hears a lot every day in the countryside. Now, see, I live in the city, and now we live in an area that's not so cityfied. I mean, there's a lot of open areas, so we see foxes and deer all the time. And I used to walk my dogs like 4 in the morning through Alt Park, and we used to get dive bombed by owls. And so we're not, we're closer to country than city, really, because of all the open land in our neck of the woods. But I haven't heard any woodpeckers yet. Dave Piet loves the forecast. Susan Wally says, happy to see my happy face. Yeah, tell my wife my face is always happy, though. Kimberly Canifax says, hello from Crittenden. Hello, Kimberly. Hope you're enjoying the show and hope the weather's treating you well now. Julie Mullins says hello. Melissa Raines Lovell says, early spring maybe? Hi from West Union. Well, hello, Melissa. And February 2nd is coming up, so when the groundhog, or as I call him, the weather rat, Punxsutawney Phil comes out, we may know. Yeah, and Kimberly Marriott says, nasty cold temps are back to Canada, good news. Naomi Blackburn, my mom said she went to school with you. Was that like in college, or I went to an all-boys high school, but we had a lot to do with Mount Notre Dame and with another school that is now closed down. But tell your mom, Naomi, that I said hello. Susan Wally says she likes the weather rat. Oh, and Judy Vermillion said she saw a woodpecker yesterday eating her sunflower seeds. After that cold weather, they must be really hungry. And Joanne Carn said there are always woodpeckers on the city pole in front of her house. Oh, okay, cool. Now, that's pretty neat. That's nice. Okay, that's all the comments right now. Let me go back, and I'll go back over the forecast, and I'll check again for any more comments when we get done with this, and then we'll close it down for the day, for the night. Okay, so we're going to load it here. I'm looking at, what am I looking at here? Okay, so I'm going to give it to you full screen. So here's the evening forecast. And I think we got a few problems with it because it's already cooler than we thought. Right now it's 32. We thought it would be 32 by 11 p.m. and it's not going to be, and it wasn't 34 at 7. So we're off by a couple degrees right now. I'm thinking maybe we should say 29 by 11 o'clock. I'll have to look into that when I get back to the office. Overnight, kind of holding steady around the 30-degree mark. Tomorrow, the sun sets at 5:55. We're looking at a high of 45 degrees, so we're going to melt a lot more of that snow and ice out there. Okay, and then if we take a look at this, there's just nothing coming our way until we get into Thursday evening when we get rain on into Friday. Friday is the first alert weather day because of that rain, because a lot of it hits during the morning commute, and then it looks like we dry out for the weekend, and we don't get that cold. The air behind this, oftentimes when you're forecasting, when you think those lows come through, sometimes the lows will come through and drag that Canadian air out, depending on if the jet stream is cooperating, and that brings that brutal cold. This time, the air that's coming in is coming in from the Pacific, okay? So it's Pacific air coming in, and it's not as cold as that Canadian air. Okay, so that's above normal through the 6th of February, through the 10th, above normal, and it looks like above normal through the 22nd. So according to what we see in the models and all this other stuff, we're done with the Arctic outbreaks for now. Precipitation should be more than normal through the 22nd of February, and with the snow melt and all that, I think our soil is going to be in really good shape for the beginning of growing season. 7-day forecast looks like this. Low tonight 30, high tomorrow 45, 46 and 48 the highs for Wednesday and Thursday. Then it looks like rain coming in Thursday evening. Friday, first alert weather day, that's mainly in the morning for the rain. The rain should be gone for the homebound commute, so it might start off bad Friday with a slow commute, but Friday's homebound commute will be better. Scattered showers Saturday, and then mostly cloudy for Sunday and Monday. When we go to beyond the 7-day forecast, each day except the 4th could have some rain. If it falls at the right time of day or maybe the wrong time of day, it could be a little bit of wet snow, but we're not looking at anything cold enough to be a problem right on through the 10th of the month. And here's kind of our summary graphic, the 7-day plus. Highs and lows, put the normals on, and you can see we are warmer than normal for a 14-day stretch. That's so much better than being that far below normal like we were as that Arctic air came on into the tri-state. Okay, so let's... David Dickerson, greetings from Gallipolis, Ohio. Gallipolis, Steve. I remember watching you when I lived back home, and you always gave the general aviation forecast. Oh my gosh, you're the guy that sent me these pictures of the snow rollers in southern Ohio a few years back. And today he saw his first red robin. Gene Hasselbrock, yeah, I'm retiring on my last day of work, except after I retire from here, I've got a honey-do list that's like 10 years long. So my last day of work is scheduled to be May 21st now. Originally, it was going to be around the 6th or around the 13th of March, but we moved it back so the company could get things organized and we could hire some more people. So I'll be retiring as of the 21st of May. And then I'll be working at home, finishing up that honey-do list that's way, way overdue. Okay, well, that's it for now. Thank you for joining me. Have yourself a nice evening. I'll be back tomorrow at 7:15. Hopefully we'll have fewer I don't know what's going on. It's like gremlins are invading our computer system today. And we'll talk more about how soon that rain's going to get here Thursday, how heavy it's going to be for the Friday morning commute, and what happens after that. So thanks for joining me. Have yourself a nice night, and I hope to see you tomorrow.